let's be more specific with Indonesian game. Do you think? Do you know any Indonesian games?
Offhand, I could only name some of the ones I had looked at earlier.
Okay. So, do you play any before?
I don't think so. I've talked with Echo, interviewed him about some things, but I don't think I'd actually play it.
Okay, so...
Yes, I need to start. You have to recommend...
Okay, after this I will recommend some titles for you.
Okay.
So, what do you think is needed for a designer or maybe publisher to be heard in the industry? In this context is, we as an Indonesian, we want our games to be like distributed internationally, like you said with the Japanese games, Castelli. How can we be like them? What do you think?
I mean, part of developing the market is reaching out to publishers, of course, to try to market them. Do designers from Indonesia, do they go to the Nuremberg Toy Fair to pitch to publishers or to Gen Con? Are they, how much are they pitching here? Part of it is being here is a good start, being at Spiel, because I imagine a number of publishers or distributors are meeting with you here, but also you need to go out and meet with other people in their own locations. Typically, I attend the Spielwarenmesse trade fair in Nuremberg, and while there, a lot of designers set up meetings with publishers to show them prototypes. And there will be 150 different publishers who are meeting designers, probably more actually. And designers come with their suitcase filled with prototypes and meet with people, and they may ask in advance, what types of games are you looking for? How many players? What do you want? Only card games? Do you what market are you looking for? You try to get some idea of what they want to see. And of course you look at what they've published in the past, but what are they looking for now? And then you bring prototypes that say, okay, you told me you were looking for this. What do you think of this? What do you think of this? And you might have 30 minutes. You pitch as many games as you can. Tell me no. Oh, you don't like this? Okay, next one. And we do this. And ideally, they keep the prototypes. So part of it is, you say, an investment from the designer. You're, of course, investing a lot of time in your own creation. But if you don't talk about it and present it to people, who's going to see it? So that's what a lot of designers do. At a trade fair or at New York Toy Fair, people also meet. Or there's the French Game Fair and Cannes. There's Gen Con in the United States. And it's expensive to travel to all those locations. But possibly if a few authors might have one representative who's pitching many different designs, which is how the Japanese market is developed with Japan brand serving as a licensing agent for multiple designers. And they will represent all these designers and then pitch to publishers. The Taiwan Board Game Design Group, led by Smooks Chen, Smooks does a lot of the licensing. He serves as the agent for different publishers within the group. And so you have one person who knows all the games and can pitch many different games, rather than if I'm a designer with only 2 games, I probably don't want to make that trip. But if someone else can represent me, then you have 20 different games on display here at Spiel. If someone knows all 20 games and can go and pitch the appropriate ones, these 4 here and these 3 here, and hopefully you can introduce them.
Basically, we need to consolidate our strength, maybe as we need to be together on this, because if you doing it yourself, you won't go anywhere, because it's very hard for us. A lot of us is the first time designer, and people maybe never heard of us.
Yes.
But that might be a good game comes from that kind of design.
Yes, I mean, and partly the interest with your designs is, I don't know what your design background is. I don't know what you know. And that was partly the appeal of Japanese games. Was it seemed for a long time that there was kind of the American and Europe market that had kind of blended together. And yes, games are a little different from French games and Spanish games and so on, but they're kind of the same. But then it seemed like the Japanese games had developed separately. So it's kind of like if you read science fiction at all, if you have read Asimov and Heinlein and all the different people, then I have all that background knowledge, I'm familiar with it. But if I read someone else writing science fiction that hasn't read those, it feels exciting and different. And I don't know what to expect. So it can be a nice surprise to see something. So right now with the games that you might bring to the market or present to different companies in Germany or France or wherever, it can be something where we're not exactly sure what it is. And it can be a nice surprise, and then it's something the publisher wants to introduce to the end user, the player. So part of succeeding is giving the publisher something they want. I want the game that'll be a $20 game, for ages 6 and up. This sort of rule. So you have that in mind, but then you can present something they would not have expected. So it's sort of marrying. That sometimes that's the most exciting part of the discovery going around here. Is yes, they're all games. I have played lots of games. I'm familiar with what a game is, but then you see something that is unexpected and surprises you in how a game works or how it makes you feel while playing. That's why The Mind is my favorite game from 2018, and it's because it feels different from all other games I've played. And some people hate it because of that, or they don't like it. But it really excites me as something different, and so that difference helps sell it. And you need someone to be excited to sell that game. It can't be, this is pretty good, right? My roommate here at Spiel is Chad, who does the advertising for BGG, and he's played a game that's not out yet, a prototype, and he said, well, it's pretty good, but pretty good is like, I'm not going to think about it. You need something, in some ways, that some percentage of people love, even at the risk of other people hating it.
True.
Because the people who love it will talk about it, and they'll do a video on it, and they will tweet pictures, and they will write a review, and share that information. And that's sometimes the challenge of getting attention in a crowded market. You need some small percentage of people who love it and then want to share it.
Actually, there's a lot of publishers that have that kind of market or maybe audience.
Right.
So maybe they're not releasing so many games, but when they release some games, the people like excited about it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's better like to have it like that compared to like you have a game for the wider audience, but it's okay game.
Yeah, it's fine. It'll be a good gift.
Yes.
But I wouldn't play it myself, right? It's hard.